Behold the power of that which is yet unborn. For the swirling images that flow forth from the Chrysalis are only a shadow of the Sleeper's true power.
The psionic emanations of the Chrysalis have reached out into the depths of space and lured our enemies to us. Even now, we are aware of their plans.
Alright. All squadrons close formation. We scan for hostiles. Emperor Arcturus believes that there's Zerg out here, so it's our job to flush them out. I don't want any slip-ups this time. We'll show these critters that they can't run from the truth.
Engage the Terran forces with care. Your priority is to protect the Chrysalis at all costs.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Starcraft. We are back once again with the Zerg and this is the third mission, the New Dominion. We are back at home on wonderful volcanic Char. We have a mature Chrysalis now which actually has an amount of health. And we are going to be defending it against an attack from the New Dominion. Now this mission is a pain in the arse. In thy ass. It really is. The Terrans are in an unbelievably entrenched position, and because we have because we don't have access to high-end level Zerg units, we don't really have the tech to break it. So really, the only thing we can do is just throw units at it, and I mean throw units at it. We are not going to be we're not going to be going light here, guys. We are pretty much going to be going in with sort of 24 mutas, 24 hydras, because without access to Marines, without access to a couple of other things, I'm just going to throw stuff at the wall, and that's just the way it's going to be. So, what do you need if you're going to build a lot of units? Well, you need an economy for that. So, let's be doing that. Now, I haven't played this mission at the time, but I can tell you right now this is what's going to be, this is what's going to happen. So, straight up drones, and what I'll do is I will do a brief attack straight from the start and show off what you guys are going to be up against, or what we're going to be up against. So the Overmind mentions psionic emanations from the Chrysalis. That's the one area where the Zerg are inferior to the Protoss. The Protoss have massive psionic potential, which is that's kind of a major thing for them, and that's their big advantage over the Zerg. So the Zerg are trying to come up with some kind of way to negate that advantage, because according to the Overmind itself, that advantage is too much for the Swarm to overcome. So the fact that psionic emanations are coming from that Chrysalis might mean that the Overmind has found its answer. And humanity itself is one of the targets, which is why the Zerg have been attacking Terran planets. Because humanity does actually have untapped psionic potential, which you see through the Ghost program. It's nowhere near Protoss level, but it is still psionic potential, and given the Zerg's ability to rewrite genetic code and things like that, they will be the ones to be able to take advantage of it. Now, the Zerg are actually, just to give a little bit of history on the Zerg at this point, they were initially a parasitic life form. They basically took over the bodies of hosts on their world Xeris, and then they evolved them, etc. And the Xel'Naga uplifted them to have like purity of essence, to have the ability to alter genetics, to become the dominant life form on Xeris. and eventually the Overmind was created to act as a sort of hive mind for the Zerg. So the Overmind, even though it's speaking to us, it's not actually a physical life form. It's more the embodiment of the swarm. But we are just putting down a few defences. The Terrans aren't going to come at us in any sort of big numbers or anything like that. So again, we're getting broken in fairly easily as far as defence goes here. But when it comes down to attacking our opponents, in potentially entrenched position, that is going to be a bit of a problem. They have a very, very, very severe. They have a very, very severe defensive capability up, and it's not really going to be that good for us, it has to be said. So continuing to mine away, and hoping to take advantage of the situation, or take advantage of getting whatever's in that Chrysalis out. So we've got the economy to build a couple of Hydralisks. Now there's an expansion point up there which I'm going to take with some Hydralisks and at least work on getting that sorted. I don't like going for early burrow there. I don't really use burrow that much, to tell you the truth, and I would much rather have spent that cash on 3 Hydralisks rather than evolving burrowing at this point. You can always evolve burrowing once you've actually got, once you've actually got stuff out on the battlefield, then you can think about evolving stuff. Meanwhile, in random things that we can do in this game, I'm clicking a lot on this Ragnasaur. There are several sort of neutral minions that appear in the game. They don't have any sort of real effect on it, but you can click on them constantly like, oh! Yeah. Maybe I won't click on them again. Fortunately, that nuke doesn't actually do any damage. It's just there for visual effect. But there's getting mad like they can do, because units can get mad if you multi-click on them. And then there's exploding in a nuclear fireball, and that one chose to do the latter. So let's get a second hatch here, because I think I can probably manage to produce low-level units out of 2 hatches. And we shall continue going. Looking to get Spire at some point here. I have to upgrade my hatchery to a lair at some point, but I'm putting down +1 attack on my Hydras because they're going to be what secures that little destination up there. Trying to make sure I don't get supply blocked. Keep producing drones. Yeah, I can produce Hydralisks out of 2 hatcheries here. That's not really going to be too difficult. I can't produce mutas out of 2 hatcheries for sure, but I will need my second base for that. And the one thing I tend to end up being as Zerg more than anything else, I tend to end up being gas starved more than mineral starved. The top end Zerg units are very, very gas heavy. And one of the Terran units that you are going to end up absolutely hating is the Firebat. They rip Zerglings to pieces. They're also not tremendously bad against Hydralisks either, especially when they're armoured, meaning that they take an extra hit to kill. That can generally be a major annoyance, because they don't half do damage when they get up close and personal. So next thing is probably going to be trying to get a lair down at this point, because I'm researching 1-1 and I want to head towards getting a Spire. I've got 10 Hydras. To be honest, 10's probably enough. I don't think there's too much up there. I don't know the exact composition of what's up there. But I might as well go for a full control group while I can. And we shall see how things go. Yep, full control group now, and yeah, you can see I'm like, lair, yes, forgot about that. Let's get the lair down. Hive Mind obviously didn't. I'm going to blame the Hive Mind for not putting down that lair, but they controlled me. Yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. So let's get up here with these Hydras.
Evolution complete.
I'm honestly not sure what the best way to get up a ramp is, to tell you the truth. It feels like attack moving up the ramp is often a bit of a pain, because if you attack move up a ramp, you often lose. If you attack move up the ramp, often your Hydras will sit on the ramp, and that can be very bad for you, because you can just end up with a... you can just end up with your Hydras blocking each other's path to get up there, and then you end up on a high ground versus low ground problem. But obviously if you just do a move up there, your Hydras don't defend themselves, and then you've got to get your timing of the attack move right. So it is definitely a... it is definitely a bit tricky to get stuff moving up ramps, and that can occasionally be a real pain. Fortunately, while the hatchery is evolving into a lair, it still is producing lava, so I'm kind of happy with that. Put down level 2 attack. Probably should go for Carapace there first before doing that. Your units can't really do damage if they're dead, and that can often happen. So hatchery just going in here, and we will begin mining the gas and the minerals from there, because I want to be on 2 bases for producing muters. So we've got our lair now, so I should be looking at beginning spy attack roundabout now. At least that's the plan at the moment. I'm just letting stuff build up. Ah yeah, overlords. Yep. And more Hydras. See, this is where I make a little bit of a mistake in this mission. I'm treating it very much like the last one, where like Hydra's a god of all things. The problem is that I am up against a very entrenched position here, and Hydras against siege tanks in siege mode do not, you know, they do not do well against Hydras do not do well against tanks in siege mode. They are too slow, and they're too they're too slow, and they're too ponderous, and they don't do enough damage immediately in order to get through. So what we're now going to do is shift some drones so that I can actually get some more economy from here quickly, and go back to producing more and more and more drones.
Spawn more overlords.
Because that's obviously the most important thing. You know, you need more drones. Oh, we're under attack. And not much came of it really, and that's generally what happens whenever you are actually under attack by any computer in this game. But let's see what we are potentially up against here. Oh yeah, more Hydras. So I've got 24 Hydras now. We're going to have a look and see what we can do here. can we break the Terran position? I don't think the answer is yes. And I think the best thing for me to do at this point, I'm actually researching the Overlord upgrades now at the lair, which I haven't gone into before. There are 3 things that you can research: faster Overlord movement, the ability to carry troops in an Overlord, and increased vision. I tend to get all 3 during the time that I can, just build more Hydras. But the reason I'm building more Hydras at this point is that I want to do a drop, and the reason I want to drop is that I can't go in on the ground here. I just really cannot go in on the ground. So let's get all this stuff evolved, get more Hydras, and in fact, you can see this is a lot of Hydras that I have here, but what's the betting things don't go brilliantly for this group of Hydras? I'm going to make some Overlords because Mutalisks cost 2 supply each. So if you want to mass produce Mutalisks, you actually want to go into... excuse me, you want to make sure you have the Overlords in order to do it. That's Carapace going down finally. More Hydralisks. And there's some Overlords to go with it. And I'm finally way too late for my taste, but I'm going to build a Spire. Spire lets you upgrade your flyers, both their armor and their weaponry. Because I'm on 2 base, I could probably build double Spire here. Because even though you only need 1 Spire to... even though you only need 1 Spire in order to build Mutalisks, you can build 2 as you would build like 2 engineering bays if you were Terran, just to get the upgrades done faster. So it's really just a trade-off as to how fast you want the upgrades doing. Because you can support it and because the AI is not going to put you under pressure, it's generally a good idea to just get your upgrades quickly. At least that's the idea as far as I'm concerned. Of course, watch me screw this up. As you can see, the what do you call it? The Hydras are the Spire is extremely slow to build. And this is an entrenched as hell position, and these Hydras are in major trouble already. Alright, Marines aren't really what we're... but the siege tanks on high ground, and if anything is the... Ow! And if anything is the bane of Hydralisk's existence, it is siege tanks on high ground. As you can see, they're not the... Ow! Yeah, we're getting out of here. We are getting out of here. There is no way we can bust a position like that with Hydras. So let's just replace some of the ones that got splatted all over the landscape, and we're going to go drop and mutas. So that was basically just to show off what we're up against here, but we're not going to make things easy for ourselves because there are missile turrets. Yep, missile turret. Missile turret. So yeah, we're basically in a sad panda situation here because there's missile turrets everywhere. There's a bucket load of Marines, which means that Mutalisks aren't, 12 Mutalisks are not going to bust that because Marines are decent enough. I wouldn't say they're a counter to Mutalisks, but they're decent enough against Mutalisks. When they're stimming, they will kill. A group of them will kill a group of Mutalisks fairly quickly. So you really need to get all your wraiths. You really need to get all your upgrades done, and then just go, oh, we've triggered a counter. Let's get the Hydras back down there. But fortunately now I'm on the upper ground and have the advantage of upper ground. You get both visual and I believe you get a damage upgrade as well. for being on higher ground. Oh god, those firebats are going to fry my Hydralisks if I don't get down there. Ouch. Sometimes you can get very, very annoyed with the 1990s pathfinding. But that's just the way things go. And yeah, my Hydra army's been sort of decimated by that. But we're still okay. I think I still have like 20 Hydralisks, 23 Hydralisks, something like that. And I think I've got more in the base. So now that we've shown off how futile it is to try and bust down this position with Hydras, I'm going to evolve ground carapace for absolutely no reason. No, I should have just, I should just be busting out Mutalisks and lots of Mutalisks at this point. The Mutalisk attack is a bouncing attack. It does 9 damage initially, and then it does another 3 to something it bounces to, and then it does another 1 to whatever it bounces to after that. So that's it. So I'm moving my Mutalisks out, but I'm not coming in. I'm not going in yet. I just want to build up a large enough force. I'm actually attacking this at the wrong angle. I'm going to go in at the main part of the base. I should actually come in from the bottom left. But again, this is really to sort of show how majorly entrenched this Terran position is. And it's something that you really shouldn't be attacking. Don't upgrade ground wings. Why would you do that? And the other thing that's bad about Mutalisks is that they are wanderers. And the thing that's bad about that is that Mutas are incredibly fast. So if they start wandering, they wander quickly and they get themselves killed. Like, Mutalisks are probably the best unit in the game at getting themselves killed. So we built a secondary army now. We have a secondary group of 12 Mutalisks, and we're still producing gas and everything here. So we've got all the drops. We've got all them drops ready. And so we should be okay. At least I would hope so. Well, basically my aim is to try and bust the anti-air defences, kill the siege tanks off with the Mutalisks, and then attack with Hydras. I got my pattern movement there wrong, but you can see what's up here. I mean, that's 2 siege tanks there, Marines going nuts, missile turrets, Wraiths. This position is very, very... Look at how many Marines are there. This is very, very, very seriously entrenched. I'm not too sure if I've got 3-3 upgrades here. Really... Well, I can't get 3-3 upgrades. I can only go 2-2. So, you know, you really have to watch here. And Mutalisks are not good at attacking static defences. You know, they don't have enough single target damage to take on. I mean, see how long it's taking me to take down that missile turret. And this position could be more heavily defended. But look, there's the ramp into the base right there, and it's covered by what? 1, 2, 3, 4. It was covered by something like 5 siege tanks in siege mode, 2 bunkers, and an absolute crap ton of Marines as well. Wraiths, missile turrets, everything. And we don't... The thing is that if we had the top-end Zerg tech, or, you know, the tech that was necessary, we could bust this position with that. You know, that wouldn't be a problem. But we don't have the top-end Zerg tech, and we cannot bust this position with what we have available. Well, we can just about bust this position, but we're down to what now? 4 Mutalisks out of all? Maybe a few more. So we're down to sort of half a dozen Mutalisks on that. Now, yes, I probably could have controlled it an awful lot better, but for, like, the 3rd mission in the Zerg, and I'm now going to, like, remake all my Mutalisks, but for something that's the 3rd mission in the Zerg, that is a hell of a position to be attacking. I don't actually believe there is a position as entrenched as that for the rest of the game. At least there isn't as far as when you're playing the Zerg. There is not a single... Let's just make 9 Mutalisks and make our point clear. That I don't think there's a position as well entrenched as that for the rest of the Zerg campaign. or as well entrenched against the tech that you have available to you. I think that the, you know, I honestly think that the tech, as it were, is an awful lot. I think the tech, as it were, is an awful lot more. Makes it an awful lot more of a difficult situation that we're in here. So I'm just going to wait out here with my muters, and here we go. Let's just we rebuild the muters. Head on in. And this time around, this time around I'm going to drop with the overlords as well, because I think I've made enough of a gap in the defences that I can feel okay on. I can feel okay dropping, and they're not going to get caught in a wave of like 500 siege tanks. One Wraith against one Mutalisk, that's not going to work. And Wraith and Mutalisk do not have a high degree of fire. That's a siege tank firing. Get everything moving. I'm trying to keep my Hydras out of this, but the siege tank is still reaching them even from that far away. But the Mutas can at least take them out somewhat here. And I think I've got 24... Yeah, I've got 24 Hydras on the ground here. So as long as I don't... God, siege tank still firing. Where is it? There it is. Well, there they are. There's 2 of them. That's right. So what's that now? 10, 12 siege tanks or something like that? Jeez. Could you defend your base a little bit more, please? Now, the Terrans don't ever come out and attack you. I mean, the thing is, that's the thing. You have to dumb down the AI, because obviously if you gave a human that advantage, you'd just unsiege his tanks, go in, splat your base in 10 seconds flat, and that'll be the end of that. But siege tanks are just, you know... We're talking over a dozen siege tanks you have to bust in this mission, which means that you have to use muters, but because you don't have the high level stuff there, big problem. But I think that we've got through most of it now, and that's going to be the end of this defence. So maybe we can find General Duke. He was always a tit. So let's see if we can introduce him to a few needle spines or something like that. I think he probably deserves it, right? I mean, I think so. More muters. I can actually half keep my money low. Not that well. Where are you, Duke?
Alright, you sorry bastards. Fall back. Fall back!
Hold, Cerebrates. Do not pursue them.
Cerebrates, you must stay and relocate the Chrysalis to a more secure location. Dagoth shall deal with the remaining Terran forces.
Oh, but what if I wanna... Maybe I wanted to go and deal with the Terran forces. Did that ever occur to you? Maybe I wanted to feel useful rather than guarding some stupid Chrysalis all the time. Oh well, I guess I'll just guard the bleeding Chrysalis then. Hope I won't have to do this much longer. See you next time, guys.